Hi, this is Brad from Highly Uncivilized, and today we are making kombucha. Kombucha is a fermented tea, and it's got an ancient history from China and some other places around the world. It's very good for you. It has a lot of beneficial gick and goo in it, and you can read all about that on my blog or probably the millions of other blogs about kombucha. But today we're just going to look at how to actually make kombucha. So you're going to need a couple of ingredients. You're going to need plain white sugar, and I'm going to use a cup of sugar for a 1-gallon container. You're going to need some tea. I've got green tea and oolong tea, and I'm going to take 6 tea bags for this 1-gallon container. You can use different kinds of tea, but start with black tea or black and green tea combos. Basically, this is to get the pH of the water right so that the kombucha culture can grow properly and so that bad bacteria, pathogenic bacteria, doesn't grow in the tea. So 6 bags. Basically, I'm going to put these in my coffee maker like this, and I'm going to brew a pot of tea. Then what I'm going to do is put that pot of tea into a bowl with the sugar, mix it all up, add some water, some ice cubes, let it chill to room temperature. I've already made 2 of these just to save time for the video. Then the other thing you're going to need is a container. I got these from Walmart. This is probably a $4 Sun Tea container. And the kombucha SCOBY colony is going to grow to whatever the size of your container is. So if you have a wide container, it's going to grow wide. If you have a thinner container, it's going to grow thinner. So container shape doesn't really matter. I used a bunch of different sizes, and this was the most practical one out of everything I tried for me. So I've got a coffee filter that we're going to put on top just to keep the bugs out with the rubber band. So this whole kit is about $5 total, including the sugar and the tea. And it's going to make a gallon of kombucha. And you know, when you go to the store and you buy a little container of kombucha and it's $3 or $4, you can see how you can save a lot of money making kombucha at home. And you know that it's full strength, you know exactly what's in it, and you get to learn about the process. The last thing that you're going to need is the kombucha culture. This is called a SCOBY, which I think is a symbiotic colony of bacteria and yeast. And as appalling as that sounds, it's beneficial bacteria that's going to eat all the sugar in the tea. And what's going to leave behind is some stuff that's very good for your body. So you can read about it on my blog. There's probably a million other articles on the internet that talk about why kombucha is good for you. But we're just going to show you how easy it is to make kombucha. So let's pretend that I took my tea, made a pot of tea, poured it into a bowl with some sugar, mixed it up. And now what I'm going to do is put the camera on pause for a second so I can take the SCOBY out of here. Okay, I'm back. I got an extra bowl. I'll take the high-tech filter lid off. And you see the culture here. See, it's a bunch of different layers. And I guess I can just leave it all in there. So normally one of these will come off and just fall to the bottom, and you can throw that away. You can even use little pieces of this to start a new culture. And actually there's so much yeast and bacteria in this container that you can get a new culture to form across the top even without the SCOBY. So I'm going to set this aside. Take these pieces out, and here's the kombucha. And I'm going to pour that into a pot so that I can bottle it later. Okay, so here's a pitcher. And I probably shouldn't get all the air in it, but oh well. I did. You're going to leave a little bit of a starter here at the bottom. So the starter just helps the water be at the right pH, and it's got the bacteria and the yeast in it. Okay. And I'm going to peel a little bit of this one off. So basically, I'm going to take the good SCOBY here and I'm going to start another pot because I'm actually going to give it to a friend at work. And I'm going to take some of the chunks here. Chunks. I'm going to pour them, put them back in here. And I'm going to pour this over the sink. Okay, and that's the container with some SCOBY chunks in there and sweetened tea. Now I'm just going to fill the rest of this up with water. Okay, and you want to use the best quality water that you can use. I have a water filtration system, so I'm using it right out of the tap. Put the lid back on. And then I always put a little piece of tape on the front that has the date that I started it in case I forget. And then I'm going to put the lid back on here, and I'm done. And this is going to sit on my counter for 2 or 3 weeks until it's ready. And you can sample it as you go. You'll get to learn the taste of what kombucha tastes like. Usually it's kombucha ready in a week or 2, but you can I've let it go up to 3 or 4 weeks. It gets very strong, but you can water it down with water and ice. Okay, so I'm going to leave it in there for a couple of weeks, and then it's ready to drink. So as you make it, you'll learn to kind of taste it as you go and see what strength you like it. And if you read about it online, you'll see that the longer you let it go, there's different things that the kombucha will make that only appear in the kombucha after it's been fermenting for a certain number of weeks. So it's totally up to you. But it's a good, healthy, probiotic fermented tea. So that's making kombucha. Now I'm going to go ahead and make the second one and give it away to a friend. Thanks.